Just a quick reminder, if you can cut your video feeds on so Coach can see you, we really appreciate it. With that being said, we'll go ahead and open it up to Coach.
Hey, everybody. Long time no see. Do you really have any questions?
We'll start it here with Todd Karpovich. Todd, we'll get it started with Todd Karpovich.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? You talked a lot about yesterday about the Bills' weapons, Josh Allen's receivers, but his offensive lines played a lot better, especially over the second half of the season with pass blocking. I think they did a really good job with Buckner last week in the wild card game. What have you seen from those guys as far as giving Allen some time?
The offensive line? Yeah, I just it's a combination of things. That the guys are doing a really good job. You get some games and some stunts and things like that. Can you guys hear me with this thing? Okay. Some games and some stunts that we weren't picking up earlier in the year, I think we've really improved on. Of course, Lamar did a great job. He's able to kind of extend and made the big run. That helps our offensive line quite a bit. Guys are just working hard. I think it's just a matter of steady effort. Joe's done a nice job of those guys, and they're playing well.
Go to Jamison Hensley.
Hey, John, and good with the enunciating. I know that's very big with you guys. With Lamar, you look statistically, since he has come back from COVID, his numbers have consistently gone up. Not saying he played poorly before, but it has gone up a notch. Have you seen anything different? You deal with him every day. Have you seen anything different with him since he came back in the 5-game stretch?
Well, yeah, I see the results. To me, it's just an accumulation of a lot of things. He definitely, the work starts to pay off. I mean, who could measure whether the rest helped? I don't know. That's just impossible to say for sure. Collectively, we played better. That's always going to help your quarterback, but it's I think it's a group thing, a team thing. But other than that, I really don't have that answer, Jamison.
Jerry Coleman.
Hey, Coach, this is kind of a broader question. Obviously, there's a lot of division and isolation in our country these days. We're all by ourselves. The one thing that seems to unify people in towns, families, is sports. Could you speak to that and what the Ravens mean to this town? You've been here a while.
I just love that. It's way back when I started coaching, a coach named Dana Bible came to the University of Cincinnati. I was probably 27, 28 years old. And he talked. I asked him why he coached, and he said that's why, because the effect that sports has on the community, the ability to draw people together, from all different kind of backgrounds and belief systems, and just within families, father and sons and daughters and mothers and brothers, whatever, just you have something to rally around and talk about really kind of for the rest of your lives, I think that Baltimore families will be talking about that Browns game, for the rest of their lives. Remember when we saw that and what we were doing? I've gotten a lot of texts from friends who are fans. So all the texts I haven't had a chance to get back to, I apologize. I will get back to you soon, but hopefully not too soon. So, Jerry, I think it's a great point, and it's why it's kind of in the end why you guys are in this, to connect with the fans and help the team connect with the fans. So it's wonderful, it's awesome, and hopefully we can keep it going. Hopefully we're up to the task to beat a very good football team and try to extend this run.
Charles Walker.
Yeah, hey, John. I think you've already alluded to this, but Josh Allen does a lot of damage as a passer after he gets out of the pocket. Certainly we saw that in the Colts game. How do you guys counter that? I mean, do the defensive backs have to be sort of unusually aware and tenacious, or how do you go against that?
Well, yes, they do, and it's something we work on all the time in terms of extending the play, extending the coverage, extending the pass rush. There's an effort of trying to keep him in there, but also when he gets out, it's an effort rush, it's effort coverage. We have terms for it and techniques for it that we teach our guys. We try to study their scramble patterns and make sure we understand them, and so we can cover the guys when he gets out. And then it's just a matter of just playing really hard and running, and hopefully we'll be able to do a good job of that.
Aaron Kasanitz.
Hey, John, I wanted to ask about one of the guys you maybe did connect with, John Brown, who's now in the Bills. What do you remember about coaching him? He's a guy that seemed to kind of generate a lot of respect here in Baltimore.
Well, yeah, I remember John Brown well. Smoke, he's just a really likable, lovable guy, and gave us everything he had. He was kind of banged up the last year a little bit, fought through it, very fast, just a dynamic player, and he's a guy that obviously he's on the other side now, so he's got our full attention for sure.
We'll go to Aditi.
Hi,
Aditi, I'm
your
seeing
guys
you.
have.
Aditi, I'm seeing you up there in the
What'd
corner.
you say?
I see you in the corner of the screen. You're just laughing and giggling. You're having a great time. I mean,
You're making me laugh. Is
Why?
that a bad thing?
with the mask?
You're just a lot more personable than some of the coaches I regularly deal with.
Oh, okay.
Can I leave it at that?
Yes, yes, I will too. Yeah.
You probably know exactly who I'm talking about. But on that note, your guys have said that for a good 6 weeks, they've already felt like they've been in the playoffs, that it's, that urgency has been there, it's winning in and et cetera. So having said that, was that hard to manufacture? Is that something that you definitely noticed? And now that you're in the actual real playoffs, is there any difference?
It doesn't feel like it. I mean, I tell you, I think you're playing great teams. When you get to the playoffs, the teams that you play are great teams, but we've had that. We've had our backs against the wall since the Pittsburgh game, the COVID game, and that's just where we've been. So I really think our guys have handled everything exceptionally well. They've taken it one day at a time, one play at a time, one practice. Try to keep it simple that way, and maybe there were some things that we learned through all of that were beneficial. So I don't know, but all I know now is we got this next one. We got a practice tomorrow and a game on Saturday night, and that's what our focus is on.
Hey, Jameson Hensley.
John, some of the players said that Lamar spoke. He volunteered to speak the night before the wild card game. What did that say to you? And because Lamar doesn't usually, he's not known as a big talker. What did that say to you?
It's great. He it's not the first time he's spoken, but we generally do that on Saturday night, and players speak for their phase of the side, and different guys do it along with a coach. And Lamar wanted to speak up, and what he had to say was great, and just very determined and confident, and I think it kind of boosted everybody's confidence and made us feel great, and other guys did a great job too. So yeah, I guess he's not a big speech maker, but like you guys, when he says something, you listen, right? I mean, I didn't know who was the guy that he talked about, the rapper from Houston. What's that guy's name?
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. I'm not gonna get a Mike Jones album or something, or see what this guy Mike Jones is about. He seems like he's popular. I didn't know. It's cool. I mean, Lamar's pretty fun.
Jonas Schaefer.
He's pretty fun.
Hey, John. I can help you with any Mike Jones recommendations if you need them. But
Okay.
with just following up on that question from Jameson, with when you guys have as big a team as you do, with as many maybe people listening on a Zoom call, I mean, how does it work for you guys just having an open floor? I imagine there's a possibility of some people talking over one another.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been pretty good. We do have a lot of guys. I mean, we have so many players right now with all the practice squad guys and the different things and the backup guys, just in case guys. And it's been awesome because we got great guys. But it seems like everybody just waits their turn, I guess. You see the little yellow box light up and somebody wants to say something. So it's worked out pretty well. We did talk in the beginning of the season about communication discipline, which is a military term. And it was great, in terms of analogizing it for on the field type of stuff. But I really don't have any great answer for you. It just seems like it works out okay.
Take a few more here for Coach Mark Viviano.
Hey, John. You got obviously different personalities on a team, and there are some guys on your defense who play with outward emotion and they're more outspoken. And then you got a guy like, at least from the outside looking in, Chuck Clark doesn't seem to say a lot or show a lot of emotion. What can you share about how you know him, about how he's driven, and then on top of that, what he's done for your defense?
Yeah, that's really kind of a very interesting observation because, he is very even and steady in terms of the outward display, and yet inside, he's very motivated. He's on fire, and I talked to him the day before the game, and then right in the locker room we talked beforehand, and he was really jacked up for that game, Mark. I mean, he was really ready. He always is, but he was really emotional about it, and he really wanted us to play well, and it showed up in the way he played. But, some guys just express it differently, but I think all the guys have a real fire, and a competitive fire inside, and hopefully it shows in the way they play, but not always in the way they express themselves probably.
Go to Kevin Richardson.
Hey, Coach, being a former secondary coach, can you talk about your former secondary coach, Leslie Frazier, and him as a coach and a D coordinator?
Right, Leslie, we were together in Philly, and then again here, in Baltimore. And Leslie's one of my great friends, one of my best friends in coaching. His son is here as a scout, doing a great job. And Leslie's always one of those guys. He's always been what you see is what you get. He's just an even, steady, high character, very smart, very common sense. Very principled in the way he approaches the game. He believes in fundamental football, effort. Secondary, man, you gotta have it tight back there. Everybody's got to be on the same page, and Leslie does a great job of organizing those guys. I think he'd be a great head coach. I think he has been a great head coach. He did a really good job in Minnesota, and we had one of the greatest games here. Remember that one? The snow game, right? That's one of the most exciting games. Is it Cleveland or Minnesota? Which one is it?
Minnesota.
Yeah. You should do a poll on that. But I'm a big fan of Leslie Frazier.
We'll close it out here with Roman Stubbs.
Hey, John. Hey, on Patrick Ricard, just how have you seen him, evolve as a player? Obviously, as a pass catcher the other day, becoming such a big contributor for the offense. And is this what you kind of envisioned for him, a couple of years ago when you moved him to play fullback?
Well, I think the pass catching part, he did have good hands. You could see that, but running routes at full speed in games, with guys buzzing around you. That's probably not something that you could say, yeah, I knew, it was one thing to see him, it's hard for a 300-pound guy to come off the ball, come downhill, and sort his way up to a linebacker on a lead play. But we could see that he could do that right away, so you say, okay, he could be a fullback. But then to see all the other things, the motion, the shifts, the pulls, that stuff is pretty remarkable, just from an athletic standpoint. Then the routes and the catching the ball and turning upfield, I think is something that probably, we didn't really envision that part of it. I remember Wade Phillips, when they practiced here a few years ago with the Rams, he told his guys in practice, and it was fun. We were having fun. It was a training camp practice, but he told his guys that guys at defensive linemen don't cover him. Then I think he caught 2 touchdown passes in the preseason game against him. So he can surprise you. He's kind of freakish that way as an athlete.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks everybody.